Hey Scorpio, it's your girl Alex, and I'm here to bring you another tarot reading. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Let's see what the universe has for you, Scorpio. Just before hitting record, all of my cards decided they wanted to visit the floor. What's going on, Scorpio? You're looking for some sort of justice before moving forward, moving on, before committing to something. Ooh, Tower. The Tower Hour. Knight of Wands. Ooh. Okay. So the Seven of Wands is really like just sticking up for yourself. Hey, here's what I want and need, right? The Seven of Wands is kind of really representing yourself, setting boundaries, communicating what you gonna put up with and what you ain't. The Ace of Cups is new love, right? So I do kind of feel like, in all honesty, it just kind of looks like, you might be a little bit busy being resistant instead of filling your cups up with love. And I feel like when it comes to moving forward towards some sort of commitment, this is essential. I will say to you, Scorpio, with the Seven of Wands being your opening card, you might be doing it to yourself, right? There could be an abundance of love and happiness and joy around you, but the Seven of Wands, your resistance, your defiance could be interfering with it. I'm just saying. And it could be interfering with it, angels just say, because Scorpio's so damn controlling. You want to control how somebody's heart beats for you. Okay. That was a weird message. But Seven of Wands is, you kind of really standing up for yourself, your heart when it comes to love. And you're doing this to an extent because you don't want to fall back down that rabbit hole of past disappointment or hurt. So absolutely yes, in order for something to work out, move forward, get off the ground, initiate, jumpstart, whatever you want to call it. It's almost like you have to feed Scorpio first before you engage Scorpio in whatever this situation is, right? In other words, you have to compensate Scorpio, okay? I use the term feed, but that is one form of compensation. But feed could be metaphorical, as in you got to feed my heart, you have to feed my soul, you have to feed my mind. You guys get it. The Hierophant represents traditions, right? So in other words, if you want Scorpio to act right in whatever this institution is, whether it's work, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, I don't give a shit. You want Scorpio to act right. Again, that cup has to be overflowing. What I also just heard as well is that some of you are in need of love, point blank period, right? Five of Cups represents being emotionally disappointed, kind of pining over the past, being sad about a past event. But the Ace of Cups is the cup of God coming in to say, here you go, Scorpio, boo-boo. Scorpio's like, I ain't ready to eat yet. And I also feel like there's a message here that basically says, listen, Scorpio, if you do want to be happier with your manifestations, your happiness requires happiness, right? In other words, your heart has to be emotionally open to achieve happiness. So Scorpio, are you defiantly, resisting disappointment from the past to keep your heart open? Or are you defiantly promoting disappointments of the past to keep your heart closed, right? I really do feel like that's up to you. Angels are saying we have the Libra card here of justice, that balance. So I kind of feel like that message of, are you fighting to keep it open or are you fighting to keep it closed? That's going to be split between Scorpios 50-50. Wheel of Fortune, moving into your destiny, moving towards commitment, moving towards something more traditional. The Tower is change, and Magician is, alakazam, and here comes this Knight of Wands, which is, speed, but also the Nine of Wands goes back and forth. By the way, all knights go back and forth. This one just goes back and forth really quickly, right? So for a lot of you, especially when it comes to a relationship, a matter of the heart, some sort of institutional, situation, you're on the fence, right? And I feel like you're on the fence because there is a lack of emotional satisfaction. That's just my 2 cents based on what I'm hearing or my interpretation. All right, well, let's see what number 2 say. I wanted to pull these out. These Radiant Wise Spirit cards are very honest. They're very honest. Okay, are we taking those? Angel said no. I'm nosy. 7 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. Yep, I'm nosy. The 7 of Cups and the 8 of Swords are like contradictions, right? The 8 of Swords is being imprisoned, being stuck in your own mental way. And the 7 of Cups is like, duh, right? Like being emotionally confused and scattered and unsure. Okay. So those are complete opposites. Angels are saying maybe that's who you're dealing with. Someone who doesn't know their ass from their elbow. Okay. See what I'm saying? These Radiant Wise Spirit cards are very, very truthful. Okay. Resisting, standing your ground. What is going to take to make you happy? 2 of Swords. Okay, Scorpio. Knight of Pentacles. The Fool. Knight of Cups. 7 of Wands again. 5 of Cups. 6 of Swords. The naked people. The lovers. Okay. Rushing into love. Rushing into commitment. Rushing into a soulmate connection or some sort of emotional connection. Right? You're rushing in and rushing back out is what I heard. So I have the 7 of Wands here twice. 5 of Cups. They're not too far from each other. I have movement here, destiny, and change. Okay. I didn't even really look at the placements to summarize, but I feel intuitively, Scorpio, that you are emotionally dissatisfied in a particular situation. I also feel like you are protesting, as in, well, I'm not moving forward unless A, B, C happens. Okay? I also feel like at least A, maybe B, is already happening. But maybe you're so hell-bent on your boundaries that you could be neglecting or negating the fact that love is here. I have the 9 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. 9 plus 1 is 10. Lovers, right? Emotional connection. The Hierophant, tradition. So this to me feels like a relationship, bottom line. Okay? But I got the 5 of Cups here twice. I can't ignore that, right? 3 cups are down. 6 cups are down. Angels are saying there is emotional childhood trauma. What is the phrase? Childhood wounds, emotional childhood wounds. Okay, thank you. So there are emotional childhood wounds. Here's a revelation, right? The Chariot, the Tower, where it's like, oh, okay. That makes sense. So what I just heard, right, when I was here at the Tower and I looked at the 5 of Cups, what I heard was your view of love is all fucked up and needs to be rebuilt, right? That's literally what I heard. Because it's almost like you keep resurrecting, Scorpio transformational energy, you keep resurrecting the disappointments of your past anytime your heart is activated. I've said that in previous readings a long time ago. So it's almost like, listen, if you fall down and scrape your knee, God forbid, the next time you go to use your knee, you're going to experience pain. So here, it's almost like you're wanting to love, you're trying to love, but all you keep experiencing is, say it with me, pain. And now what's happening is you are putting up all kinds of guardrails to make sure nobody goes near my wounded knee, right? But angels are saying your knee is fine. Like your knee has been healed for 12 years. Ooh. So magician to me is the change next to the chariot and the Knight of Wands. It's almost like you need to change your traditional views and your traditional thinking. That's what you're hesitant. Your way or the highway. And angels are like, your way got 85 toll roads, 2 drawbridges, and a fucking cement wall. Right? Like, woo. Berlin was not even as secured as your heart is. You are resisting the traditional. You're resisting commitment. You're resisting the institutional. And the reason why you're doing that is because you're requiring a better flow of love. Well, angels are saying, baby, you got to let go of that. Take a leap of faith. Open yourself up to that beautiful childlike wonder. Oh, that's what it is. The disappointment of your childhood again. You have to open yourself up to this brand new unknown beginning, right? And I do feel like with the Fool here with the Nine of Cups, I do feel like there's a lot of love in this new emotional cycle. You can't see it because you're fighting against it. Boy, this is a Scorpio reading if there was never a Scorpio reading it before. So, yeah, these are your emotions. Your emotions are bubbling up. They're how do you say, being ignited. And your intensity of your emotions and the intensity of your connection is what's normal to you. Angels just said, well, that's just a fast road to disappointment, right? Nobody ever was safe doing 100 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour over the speed limit. You're in the penalty zone. So there could be a message here for you, Scorpio, saying, listen, slow down, right? Not only that, but slow down until you check your vision. And now, and my angels just said, of course, with the analogy, be careful of car accidents, right? Or speeding tickets and blah, blah, blah. Be careful. But the Two of Swords is you're not seeing this situation clearly. Two of Swords and the Seven of Wands, you are blocking yourself. You're mentally blocking yourself from moving forward. Angels just said them wands ain't gonna do nothing but keep piling up. Soon you're gonna go to the Eight of Wands, then the Nine of Wands, then the Ten of Wands. Y'all know the Ten of Wands is burdens, is blockage. That's the complete blockage of the situation. So it's almost like as long as you keep ignoring the fact of what you need to do to make you happy in love, which is getting over the past, right? Slow poking it away from this past hurt and disappointment and pain, opening yourself up to new love and happiness and, dare I say it, joy, right? That's the only way that this new cycle is going to work. That's the only way, literally, Scorpio, that your love life is going to work. And it's very simple to say, but very hard for you to execute. You got to open your heart to love. Right? But again, not the old crusty way of loving, the new way of loving, right? You got to be open to that. You just going to have to take a big old fat leap of faith and trust the universe, trust in your destiny. When I said that, I glanced over at the Six of Swords. I could almost hear some Scorpio saying, right? But the Six of Swords is moving over into peaceful waters. I feel like that's where your area of concentration should be going forward, is in smoothness. Not this. No, not resistance and defiance and guardhoodship. Angels are saying that's the problem for those of you sometimes in love, is you rush towards the end goal, but you bypass all of this. It's almost like you want the beautiful, sweet nectar of the reward, but you're bypassing all of the knee scraping, brow sweating, disappointing work that it takes to get there. Well, that was a good message. Can I use these? Oh, Angel said you touch the other ones, so use those. Okay. So what additional messages? What kind of Scorpio's reading is this? Angel said you have water in your moon. You have do I have Gemini? I do have Gemini on the table. You have high concentration of air in your chart. I have Gemini here twice with the Lovers and the Magician. That's also Virgo, right? I have Aquarius here. I have Libra here. All of my air signs are on the table. Sagittarius and Leo. I don't have Aries. Where's Aries? Some people look at Aries as a tower. I do not. Okay, so I have a slight concentration of fire. And then water. Scorpio, are you the only water representing? You sure are. I only see the Ace of Cups, and I know that's all water signs, but I go by the major arcanas. So right now, the only major arcana for water is you, Scorpio. Okay, major arcana or core cards. Okay, so now we know what you need to do. We know the problem. We know how you're contributing to the problem. Now let's look at the solution. Come on, Zeus. Five of Swords. Angels just said Scorpio drives in reverse, right? It kind of feels like for all of your situations, Scorpios, you always show up with the baggage of your past. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This is what my logical, philosophical mind says to me. If you show up with baggage from the past, isn't it inevitable that you will have to leave present and future situations? Right? Let me ask that again. If you show up with the baggage of your past, isn't it inevitable that you're going to have to leave that present and or future situations? Right? In other words, leave your past in the past. Good message. I'm judging my angel's message. Good message, guys. There you go again, Scorpio. And there it is, by the way, right? You're manifesting, wanting new love, but you're blind. You're from your past. You couldn't see new love if it was sitting in front of you, humping your leg. Oh, I'm sorry. I may get this reading may get flagged because YouTube is so sensitive now, and it's okay. So you need to end and start over. You need to heal. You need to pick up those 3 cups. And you need to get on your horse with your pentacle, and you need to out with the old, in with the new. Okay, well, let's talk about the new. Hey, there you go. There's your heart. What'd I say? There's your heart, Queen of Cups. There's Cancer. All right, now we have Cancer and Scorpio on the table. Come on, Pisces. Ooh, come on now. All right, I got 2 cards down. Ooh, 8 of Wands. Remember I said we go from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. 8 of Wands here with the 9 of Cups and the Destiny sitting next to the Queen of Cups, the Fool, and the Justice card says that I feel like you're getting a do-over. By the way, for some of you who feel like you fucked up your relationships, I feel like you're going to get a do-over. Yeah. You have the Wheel of Fortune here now on the table next to the Justice. So it's almost like it's a karmic, right? What goes around comes around. So you dealt with the karma. Now it's like, okay, Scorpio, let's try this shit again. Try this again. I have 1, 2, 3 sevens on the table so far. 7 of Pentacles is resetting, right? It's like, what we gonna do? How we gonna figure this out? Yeah, you have to look at the 7 of Swords, and a couple of cards fell in my lap. So 7s represent, you know, just kind of like that analysis or that thought and planning that's needed to move forward. So if you say, okay, we're gonna go from New York to Florida, the 7 of Pentacles is, okay, well, how we gonna get there? How long we gonna stay? Who's coming with us? What part of Florida, right? The 7 of Pentacles is, okay, well, you have this knowledge and information. What are you going to do with it? And 7 of Pentacles is also known as the analysis paralysis. Don't wait too long, right? Angel, ooh, child. All right. Another deep message. 7 of Wands is being defiant, right? And standing your ground. 7 of Pentacles is waiting until something matures or come into fruition. For some of you, for a lot of you, that is the present state of this situation. It almost feels like a barricade. It feels like a gridlock. It feels like it's almost like y'all, you know, if 2 people were arm wrestling, right? And it is somebody's about to win. It feels like it's like this, right? Nobody's budging. Like you're right at that impasse where one person's waiting, other person is just continuously building up their guards. My angels also just said to me too, this could be you internally. This could be you internally, is that your knee-jerk reaction is to resist, to fight, to push away. If you don't push the situation away, you run away. That's what the 7 of Wands vibes is giving me, right? It's almost like you have this method of dealing with pain and disappointment. Well, the 7 of Pentacles is now wanting you to come in to reanalyze, right? Reanalyze that approach and change some of that institutional thinking, some of that childhood conditioning, some of those lessons that were learned that are either sitting at your subconscious that you don't know you're doing from a conscious level, or they're sitting right there on at the conscious level, and you know what you're doing and what you're contributing to. 2 of Swords kind of says to me, for a lot of you, you didn't know that you were this guarded, I guess, right? Yeah, let's use that. Yeah, you didn't know that you were this guarded. Angels just also said to me too, for a lot of you, there is a turbulence that's happening at the subconscious level within your energy core that you're not even aware of either. Angels just said to me, and I don't know who this applies to, angels just said to me, it is this turbulence that contributes to your anxiety and your anxiousness and your nervousness. So for a lot of you, you run away, you're always 1 foot in and 1 foot out, is because at your core, there is a turbulence, right? And at that turbulence, it could be this past trauma, hurt, pain, or it could just be everyday nervousness, right? As in, you're not comfortable going slow and taking your time. You're comfortable rushing in and rushing out. So when it comes to going slow, that turbulence is like, I need to go. Somebody need to go, right? It's almost like you in New York City. God bless y'all who live in New York City. And damn, the light turned green. Man, you will be honked if you sit there longer than a nanosecond. Okay? You will be honked if you don't start leaning forward when the other light is yellow, right? So it's almost like this angst at your core that keeps you rushing in intensity and moving in and moving out. For some of you, it's transformational, right? Like some of you need to see change in a lightning fast method, especially when it comes to your love and love lives. So in other words, you don't go slow. And going slow emotionally for some of you equates to pain. And ladies and gentlemen, them and they, that's what needs to change. That's what needs to change. We need to break down why going slow hurts you so much. We need to break down this method of speeding through relationships. That's what your next manifestation is to learn to go with the flow. Ooh. Scorpio's like, listen, I do tidal waves, I do typhoons, I'll even do hurricanes, maybe a tsunami here or there, but baby, I don't do calm. Scorpio, I don't do calm. Yes, still waters run deep, but you know, nobody ever sees me there. I got more cards falling on the floor and I'm being told not to take these. Do I want to use this deck? Yeah, that's the deck you've been using. 6 of Wands, victory. Scorpio, you need to change your, I want to say your emotional compass, right? Your emotional compass. You ever see a compass just, the needle just don't know where it wants to go? Angels just said, think about what causes compasses to work, right? Isn't it a magnet, right? Going towards the poles, right? It's gravity, magnet, and also position, right? Now check this out. If you are always in a state, if you're always in this state, right? In a state of disappointment, and that disappointment causes you to constantly run, give up, walk away, constantly, you're forever in a cycle of endings and beginnings. Forever. You're forever in a cycle of cutting off, letting go, cutting off, letting go, cutting off, building anew, cutting off, letting go, cutting off, letting go. Now, angels just said with their smart asses, well, isn't that what life is all about? I don't know if that was Angel or a smart ass Scorpio watching this. But yeah, life is all about cycles, endings, and beginning, right? But it's almost like 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords. They should be, those endings and beginnings should be happening naturally and organically, not just a regular fucking Monday night in your energy core, Scorpio, right? In other words, life has ebbs and flows, okay? Scorpio has deep intensity and transformational energy. So y'all endings and beginnings is like a light switch. Like you just sitting there, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, right? And the universe is like, chill. Now, angels just said, what ignites this on, off is your heart. So when your heart is activated, you rush towards love. Any slower than rushing to you, you've been trained to be disappointed. Ooh. Deep ass message. It came out anyway, the 7 of Cups. Confusion. Some of y'all don't know how to go with the flow. Some of y'all use substances to go with the flow. Oh, there's that damn Knight of Wands again. You keep attracting on-off relationships. Holy Toledo. Look at that ragged ass Page of Wands. Yeah. So this reading seems like to me, for any of you who are ever curious about why my relationships don't last, why do they end quicker than they begin, I don't have a finite answer to that. I would just say to you, look at your emotional compass. Is your compass just jittery and anxious and fast in, fast out? So you can soak up all the love and possess all the love before it goes away? Like, is there an intensity within you that makes you feel like love is not going to be available to you, or love is not going to be available to you for a long period of time? I feel like for a lot of you, that message may resonate too, as in the reason why you don't like going slow is because you feel like you're going to miss out on something. You're going to feel like the love disappears. Not only that, but what I heard was that is at the root, one of the root causes and root definitions of codependence, right? I'm going to cling on and hold on for dear life for fear that I'm going to miss out or the love is going to go away. So for some of you, Surprise! You're codependent in love. Angels just said independent everywhere else, but in love, you're codependent. Wow. Okay. Angels just said, girl, flip that around and make that word codependent Scorpio friendly. Okay, a Scorpio friendly word for codependent is, say it with me, possessive. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going. I know. I'm getting on my own nerves. I'm leaving in this reading. Something to say. There's something I really want to share with you. I'm waiting for the right time to tell you. Okay. Again, for those of you who think that you done mucked up your relationship, it's coming back around. But I feel like with this revelation or education with who you are, learning about who you are, especially at the core, I feel like this is food for thought. Not only that, but I feel like, Scorpio, this is going to change the trajectory of your emotional relationships. I really do feel like you need to reprogram yourself in thinking that love is not going to go away. It's going to remain available to you. There's no need to rush. It's okay to go with the flow. It's okay to take your time. I love that message for you. For Ja. Playing games. There is a game. This is a game to me, the way I'm acting, responding, and posting it to get your attention. Yeah. Angels just said that's that Page of Wands, acting immaturely. So somebody's acting out. You could be dealing with somebody who's going through this as well. And right now I feel like this person is acting out and playing games to try to get your attention. Poor baby. Poor baby. Father wounds. My father is a big influence on my behavior now as an adult. I have challenges with connecting to the divine masculine energy within me and externally. Ew. So some of you could have had father issues, both male, female, non-binary, right? Which is weird to me because I wouldn't think that the father would be the nurturer and giver of love, right? That's the divine mother. That angel, that goes deep. I'm not going to explain all of what my angels just showed me, but the other thing I will say, or the thing I will say is, for some of you, you grew up in an environment with parents whose roles were opposite. So in other words, the mother maternal figure was the divine masculine, and the feminine figure was the mother was the divine masculine, the father was the divine feminine. Oh, angels just said, so when it comes to the energies of divine masculine, divine feminine, divine masculine, certain, assured, confident, strong, protective, right? Divine feminine, loving, nurturing, comforting, right? Like that could be what's at play here as well, is that you never learned the proper energy types, right? You might not have learned the divine masculine, the divine feminine energy traits. Don't look at male, female. I didn't say shit about gender. Need time to heal. Right now I'm in a space where I need to focus on my healing and self-love. This isn't about you. It's about me. Yeah. So somebody's going to need to take a time out. My angels just also said too, if the person that you're dealing with is not speaking to you, or they, kind of ghosted or went MIA, they could be struggling and or going through this themselves. In other words, they could have just realized this about themselves, and they just need a minute to align, to realign, to rebalance, to kind of work things out. All right, Scorpio, I think this was a good reading. I mean, another therapy session. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And our next Scorpio Hangout is Saturday, October 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern. The link is in the detailed box below. I love you, Scorpio. Bye.